I watched the recent podcast that Gareth A. Davies did with Eddie Hearn. And of course, they were discussing the Usyk Fury fight and why it never happened. Gareth A. Davies was trying to refute what Eddie Hearn was saying, which was that Tyson Fury priced himself out. Gareth A. Davies said, well, you don't know that, Eddie. Tyson Fury beats Alexander Usyk all day long, insinuating that there's no way Tyson Fury would be afraid to fight Usyk, and therefore there's no way he would price himself out. That can't have happened. Gareth A. Davies is literally ignoring all the evidence, which strongly indicates that that's exactly what happened. And the worst thing about it is, Gareth A. Davies was the one on his own website who interviewed Bob Arum during the negotiations for Usyk Fury. And Bob Arum told him that Usyk already has a deal with the Saudis. Bob Arum is close with Usyk's people, with Krasuk and Klimas. He's close with them. He works with them all the time, from being with Vasyl Lomachenko, from promoting him. And Bob Arum told Gareth A. Davies that Usyk has a deal with the Saudis to fight Tyson Fury in Saudi Arabia. This was early on this year. Gareth A. Davies was also there after the fight fell through. At the Talk Sport table, you can see him right here on the left, having a conversation with Amir Abdullah of Skill Challenge, the Saudi promotional outfit. And Amir Abdullah said, right to Gareth A. Davies' face, that the reason the fight between Usyk and Fury didn't happen is because one of the fighters priced themselves out. That's essentially what he said. He said one of the guys was asking for more money than they were willing to pay both fighters combined. Well, Gareth, Bob Arum told you that Usyk already had a deal with the Saudis. So he can't be talking about Usyk, can he, Gareth? He must be talking about Tyson Fury. And we know that Tyson Fury talked about wanting 500 million, $500 million to fight Usyk last year. Frank Warren said that Fury would fight Usyk for, 150 million or something a couple of months ago. All of the indication is that Tyson Fury priced himself out with the Saudis. Yet Gareth A. Davies has turned into a Frank Warren Tyson Fury bootlicker. Well, he was always a Tyson Fury bootlicker. Now he's a Frank Warren bootlicker as well. Gareth A. Davies is doing boxing a disservice by entertaining Frank Warren and Tyson Fury's blatant gaslighting. Gareth A. Davies is a middle-class soft boy in a working-class sport, struggling to fit in, trying to find somewhere that he can be accepted. And he thinks the best way to do that is to cozy up next to Tyson Fury or Frank Warren, because they're the loudest, most alpha people in heavyweight boxing. And as I say, he's making a case for their gaslighting, because that's what it is, it's gaslighting. Not only did Tyson Fury price himself out with the Saudis, he also priced himself out at Wembley. Frank Warren and Bob Arum both said initially that Usyk Fury should be 50-50. When they'd priced themselves out with the Saudis and the fight was supposedly going to Wembley, they went back on that 50-50 and said, oh no, Usyk's only getting 30%. And you're trying to tell me, Gareth A. Davies, that that's not also pricing themselves out. Are you having a laugh? Going back on their word. And Usyk accepted the 30% on the condition that Tyson Fury donated £1 million to Ukraine, which Tyson Fury refused to do. But still you won't admit that Tyson Fury priced himself out. Gareth A. Davies. And on top of all that, Tyson Fury then lied. He lied. There are so many accusations of people being liars getting thrown around in this Usyk Fury situation. Tyson Fury is a pathological liar. He lied and claimed that Usyk had tried to insert a rematch clause in a contract at the final hour as a way of trying to get out of the fight, when it was actually Fury's own people that put that clause in the contract in the first place several months earlier. And Fury tried to concoct this absolute fantasy nonsense that Usyk was trying to get out of the fight by putting it in there. What a load of rubbish. Usyk had already made so many concessions fighting in Wembley, which is obviously in Tyson Fury's home country, accepting 70-30, all these concession after concession. And Tyson Fury, every time Usyk accepted a concession, was adding another one on. Totally absurd. And you, Gareth A. Davies, just sit there and act like, oh, he wasn't doing anything wrong. No. If you really want to fight, that's not how you behave, Gareth A. Davies, Mr. Middle-class soft boy. You like to think of yourself as a smart man, right? You went to private school. Well, for all your education, you have not wisdom. When Gareth A. Davies said to Eddie Hearn, oh, Tyson Fury beats Usyk all day long. That's just your opinion, Gareth. Most people thought that Sonny Liston would beat Cassius Clay all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that George Foreman would beat Muhammad Ali all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Muhammad Ali would beat Leon Spinks all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Mike Tyson would beat Buster Douglas all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Lennox Lewis would beat Oliver McCall all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Mike Tyson would beat Evander Holyfield all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Lennox Lewis would beat Hasim Rahman all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Vladimir Klitschko would beat Corey Sanders all day long. What happened there? Most people thought that Anthony Joshua would beat Andy Ruiz all day long. What happened there? You see, Gareth A. Davis is making out as though his opinion that Fury would beat Usyk almost means that the fight doesn't actually need to happen. You're giving Tyson Fury a crown as the king of the division that he hasn't earned. There is an elephant in the living room called Alexander Usyk, a guy he hasn't faced. You don't crown a guy king of the division based on opinion. You crown him based on winning the fight in the ring for the undisputed title. What people like Gareth A. Davis are doing is a shameful excuse for a boxing journalist, is he's giving Tyson Fury carte blanche to keep pricing himself out of fights, such as the Alexander Usyk fight, indefinitely by believing his bullshit. Gareth A. Davis is a middle-class soft boy suck-up. That's what he is. I mean, Simon Jordan's working class and he ain't much better. To be fair, he's a little bit better, but not much better. So TalkSport just overall need to do better. Adam Cattrall, I acknowledge him. He tried to stand up to Frank Warren, but he really didn't have the knowledge necessary to do a proper job of it. But the intent was there. So I give Adam Cattrall the credit. He could see things for what they actually are. The obvious. People get convicted in courts worldwide on circumstantial evidence every day, if there's enough of it. There is literally a pile of circumstantial evidence to show that Tyson Fury ducked Alexander Usyk, the size of Mount Everest. But Gareth A. Davis and Simon Jordan are still saying, well, you weren't in the room when they were negotiating with the Saudis, so you don't know that. Don't be so stupid, Gareth. The circumstantial evidence is a mile high. This guy's unbelievable. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Are you sick and tired of the mainstream mindset? Does the dogmatic conformity and pathological ignorance have you tearing your hair out in frustration? Then don't be alone. Come and join our brotherhood on Patreon. We stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. You'll gain access to my weekly topical podcast, where we take more deep dives than Jacques Cousteau on an endless variety of subjects. There's also videos, interviews, live Q&As, as well as a vast back catalogue of previous episodes, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen via the Patreon app or download in high-quality MP3. Connect with myself and hundreds of other members in our Element chat group. There's no contract, no commitment. You can cancel at any time, and it's cheaper than a Mickey D's McMuffin. Just head to my Patreon page via the link below this video and select the tier called the Brotherhood of Reason. I'll see you over there.